I guess that helps better if I actually load the app, huh? That does. Not even an app. Program. That's the word. I mean, really, what's the difference? It's just, what loads it up, right? Although an app also... Yes, I guess technically they are both apps, regardless of where. Well, why does this lock up now? Weird. Nope, wrong direction. Aha. There you go. I'm pretty sure this window is still differently sized. But hey, here we are. I did not consider visuals for this one, did I? Oh. That's awkward. Very awkward. There we go. Interesting. Dashboard. What is... I don't know if I like that. How's that look? What's better? Small. No. Good screen space. Make sure that's saved because I'm paranoid. Get that in another 2 minutes. But yeah. Today we are talking gaming. I'm fully aware that's a very broad topic. Didn't really feel like narrowing it down too much. Also didn't have anything specific in mind. I guess technically gaming culture, but this is kind of like partitioning off part of the ocean, but then it's, just saying that's the Mediterranean Sea. It's still large from a down low perspective. Wow, that really... Okay, what about that? Okay, that works. Because my tendency to... The phone's at a weird angle, technically, I guess. It kind of does weird things when I, lean my head forward slightly, and then I, shrink by half of my body height? Height, that works. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Kind of related to the video I put up. What a coincidence. Although that was technically about FF culture, not gaming in general. But I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. Everyone has different experience in gaming, right? Everyone plays games for a different reason. Personally, I'm more of a competitive gamer. Valorant, when it was... Valorant's been kind of bad lately, so I haven't really been playing it. Which... partially because of the whole FF culture thing. I don't know. Seems to be generally a lot of tension with people. And people don't always come into stuff like a competitive ranked game with the correct mindset. Which I kind of thought we were just saying games are just games, because they're not. I feel like people think of Call of Duty when they say that. It's like, oh, because there's nothing on the line, it doesn't matter. Kind of disagree with that. It never made sense to me that sweating was a insult. You care too much about this. Like, since when is passion for a thing bad? When did that come about? Don't really know. You know, I'm gonna just hit post and not think about why the CDC and E. coli are trending in the US. That's. Yeah, we can worry about that later. Moving on. Yeah, that always struck me as kind of weird. You try too hard to win at the video game where the point is winning. Okay? What's next? You'd like vacuuming a room and it's too clean now? You're trying too hard to clean the room? You care too much about getting the perfect measurements for baking, which is, newsflash, all about perfect measurements. It's probably the most scientific and strict version of cooking. Granted, you can kind of fudge the rules a little if you know what they are, but you have to know them really, really well. So science. It's just nonsensical. And usually, not always, but usually, it's thrown out because they're beating you. So it's like an embarrassment thing, which is odd. I don't know. Never got the whole safe face thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't like being embarrassed. Very much not a fan. I can barely watch scenes in movies or shows where they're just doing something so blatantly, obviously stupid, because I'm just embarrassed for them. It's not a skill that I cultivated, but it is a reality. Well, that does apply in other ways too, so it makes movies more interesting. But that's another topic entirely. So, yeah. There's writing, and then there's the people who go into a ranked game, and especially if it's team game, which, I mean, most ranked games are team-based, except for stuff like, I mean, I guess there's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, right? That's solo, which I do like. Dueling is fun. There's, I almost said NVIDIA, Naraka Blade Point. The game does have a team mode, but you don't have to. And it's also very much ranked. Well, it does have some that aren't ranked. Some modes, that is. Generally speaking, though, it's definitely geared towards team-based ranked play. But going into that, it's like you load up that mode, especially in something like Valorant or League, you specifically choose the mode you're going to play, and then you go into a ranked game mode and play like it's casual. And then complain and get upset when other people call you out on just playing it like it's casual. What did you expect? You loaded into a competitive mode without the intention to play it competitively, and then are surprised the people who did load it up to play it competitively are upset that you aren't playing competitively and therefore ruining the experience of everyone in the lobby. Very backwards. So, I guess my thing, because I have never thought like that. Like, okay, one thing that I am good at is seeing things from multiple perspectives. Comes in handy for debates, etc. Like, how do they get to that mindset. Like, did they have a rough day at work, relationship stuff, whether that's friend or whatever, right? Was the weather just particularly awful? I don't know. There's any number of things that could be, and I try and keep that in mind, right? Not everyone's. It's really easy to forget that it's the internet, yes, but the people on the other side of the screen are also just people, right? Just living their life. Doesn't excuse the decisions they make, right? But it's good to remember that sometimes they are just having a very, very bad day, and maybe, yeah, they shouldn't have loaded up ranked to play, because they just kind of, what's the word? Autopiloted? Notice people do that a lot. Where they want to play it, but they aren't really in the mindset to play it. Which just makes it a non-enjoyable experience for everyone. That said, constantly yelling at them angrily doesn't improve the situation. Then they're just gonna turtle up and double down. So, like, on one hand, they shouldn't have done what they did, right? That's true. On the other hand, you shouldn't just take out your frustrations at what they've done by yelling at them, because it's utterly unproductive. Doesn't really make anyone feel better, because in the end you still lose. And now you've also wasted a bunch of time. So, I don't know. People are complicated. If nothing else, that is certainly true. Interesting. But very complicated. Like, house construction. Kind of important that gets done correctly. I almost read that backwards. Pixel Pixie. That's correct. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a good day. Where was I? Construction. Phone, I get it, please. I understand. Imperfect connection, but you are connected. Please stop yelling at me. Thank you. I don't know how you're doing. I am doing fine, thank you. How about you? So trying to remember where the heck I was. Oh, I guess I'll have you here. What games do you enjoy playing, and why? I guess would be the obvious question, right? Sort of the theme for the day. Curiosity, learning, sort of. Not that everyone else may not care about the nitty-gritty details. That figures. Well, it's worth a shot. So I guess to get back into what I was talking about. And the mindset, right? Everyone plays games for different reasons. This is true. When I get off work, it's nice. Yes! W timing. Love it. Welcome back. Yeah, that was an interesting facial expression that just pulled off. Okay. Yep. Weird. Anyway. Uh, that's me again. Whoops. Well, I guess we get to test that, kind of. But yeah. Since I have you here, what type of games do you play, and why? We just got finished on a 10-minute long spiel on a very shallow take on ranked games, I guess. Kind of a meandering thing, per usual. I mean, yeah. Fuck stuff is what it is. Simulation, RTS, FPS. All games that take thinking. Yes. No Man's Sky. I never played that game. Mostly because at the time, I'm pretty sure it would have killed my PC. And then, I don't know, I like having a direction. Brain tends to like spin in circles if it's too broad of a if there's too many options. That's a better way. If there's too many options. So I tend towards competitive games because okay, besides obviously there's like solo single player games like Dragon Age or I want to say Cyberpunk, but that game was a disappointment on launch. I'm glad they've gotten it better, but I don't know, it's kind of soured me to the whole thing, unfortunately. That and it wasn't quite what they said it was going to be. In a lot of ways. So, can I control every variable? Evolution sims. So, like, the only one I can think of is Spore. And here, I kind of like, what's it getting? An MMO technically, but New World. The sampling, and I have never heard of either of those. Oh, guess there's this. Hold on, let me. What's this? Yeah. Alright. What was that? Not Steam Deck. You cannot, like, you can't script this stuff. But hey. I haven't checked the Steam requirements of this lately. Oh, okay, i3. Helps. Sad. I'm glad it knew what I wanted because I forgot how to spell sapling. I'm well aware that's by intention, thank you. What's sapling? Huh. That's certainly a creature. Huh. So very Spore-like. Okay, this is honestly looking like just a Spore spiritual successor. Well, I say just. You know what I mean. A little more... It almost looks voxel. Also, a little more in depth and freeform. Software same functional scenarios, but obviously with everything locked. What do you want? Desert, underwater. So yeah, definitely a lot of freedom. 8 seasons is crazy. Like how depth? Thanks, brain. How in depth does that go for like a season? I'm guessing it's more than just like hot versus cold if you can put in 8 different variations, but only played alpha. Oh, okay. Yeah, what the heck is Space Engine? Visit distant worlds. Oh. Well, it's very pretty, which is a problem for my PC, but the amount of shenanigans you can get up to in this is kind of silly. That said, it's a very satisfying color. I like that. Hmm. Accurate. Oh, so this one's just like straight microscope. There we go. I was thinking like cell. That's not quite true. Technically true, but not quite. Official goal proving that life does not have to be carbon based. Can't really provide any input on that myself, but interesting. Okay, but then why is sandbox 2 words? Why did you? As someone who's done a lot of reading, that is moderately triggering, but that's a me thing. You leave running for like multi-hundreds. So basically something that I'd probably watch a sped up time-lapse version of on YouTube, but would be unlikely to get myself. A little too long. What I like to put it, I'm more of a tactics girl, not a strategy. I can do strategy, but we're getting into the whole options thing again. To 20 times speed. I mean, better. Oh. I mean, I do like statistics. Maybe a little too much. Why is this tempting? Doesn't affect me. Oh. It's not strategy at all. RNG. I don't know if I'd say arch nemesis, but definitely likes messing with me. This is why I refuse to play XCOM 2. Yep. What's that? 90% chance to hit? 95%. Holy enunciation. 95% chance to hit for me is basically, it's guaranteed to miss. I already know. You know, they're doing their best. That may fall quite short a lot of the time, but they are trying, technically. Maybe in reverse, but they're doing it. Oh. Hmm. Where was I? Yeah. Yeah, that's Ant World. Oh boy. I bet that is 4 for some reason. Ding. Oh. I mean, I can't really. Oh shoot, what was that one called? My Steam go. There it is. Ooh. I'm still waiting for Asuka. I need them to. Okay, well, I'll ring it. Literally only called that, but alright. This game. I need them to. What is it called? Optimize it more. Because, I can technically play it. Barely. I definitely can't stream it. Much as I'd like to. I did try Valheim, admittedly, and talk about Freeform. Like, that's the sort of game I need to play with a friend, because otherwise I just kind of stall out. Medieval Dynasty. I think so. I'm pretty sure I have. Oh god, why can I never? Good, I don't have to spell it. I can never spell this word. Ever. Oh, yeah. Holy frame rate, Batman. What do you mean by that game? Was there not already co-op? I'm confused. What does that mean? No. Foliage growing under rocks. I can see how that would be a bit confusing. Furniture for clients like people you sell to, or clients like with a thing running the game? No idea. Co-op update. Steam. Oh, okay. I was like, I swear they already had that. Armor crest, shields, and more. I guess that's still reasonable dev time. I actually don't know how big their team is. Oh god. Hello, Panda. Valheim Asuka. Yeah. That's like, okay. I knew he'd like it, so I recommended Minecraft to Joker like 6 months ago. Kind of figured it would go like this, but that's kind of all he's played since. But Yeah, I need like a goal. My brain is very goal oriented. I know, surprise. That's partially an ADHD thing, partially just a me thing. What? Huh. Definitely not. Ugh. I wish. Technically, I mean, I guess it could be window shopping, but technically we're just talking about games, different types, and I guess why you play them. Synthetic is a freedom enjoyer, not necessarily like America freedom, but you know, freedom of choice. I was talking about New World, right? And then I get distracted by something else. Um, hmm, hmm, Where is 13Z does look interesting too, but where? Oh, also Stranova. Where's that weird 100 Days Winemaking Simulator? That's what it was. I'm sure you're wondering, why am I not just using mine? I don't feel like getting banned. Um, we'll just leave that there. Mama, 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 mama. Down to mix. Oh, why? You know, I mean, everyone liked the first 4 to 5 seasons of Game of Thrones. That's just why I can see the characters in my head. I could basically see the cover in my head. The name? No, let's just take forever to remember that. But this game, like, has a lot of depth, but also kind of a general goal. Kind of the thing I'd go for if I was like thinking this type of game. Like I said, Joker is very deep into Minecraft, but the problem I have with Minecraft is it's a little too ambiguous as to what you should or could be doing. There's only so much mining that I can find entertaining. So I guess for me to be like competitive, conflict-driven type games. So New World's kind of good for that. Wouldn't say it's mods. Yes, they are. However, do you have any idea how many different types of like RPG adding stuff style mods there are to the game? Also, the amount of those that are well optimized shortens the list pretty decently. Hello, Adam. Why? Yes, I definitely meant to say that. Hello. I'm kind of hoping that Riot's MMO is going to be good. Yeah, and mix. It's definitely earned the mix. But they're improving. Main reason I stopped playing this is you couldn't. What's it called? You couldn't do any of the endgame stuff solo, so it's kind of like, why bother? Imagine having friends, right? That's. What a wild expectation to have of gamers in 2024. That's silly. Incredible. Very optimistic. Do you have an idea if you like Stardew type games though? There's a Minecraft version of that. I don't know if I would say that well, I wouldn't say that I dislike Stardew. I'd say that I'd probably fall asleep playing Stardew because my brain would be bored. Thoughts on COD World War II? World at War was great. World War II? I don't think I ever bought that one. Because I'm pretty sure it was not very good. Like, fair enough, like, if you, like, everyone enjoys their own thing, right? But, limited funds didn't seem like it was worth it to me. Same reason that I got Space Marine 2 over Black Ops. That and, well, cloaking shenanigans is fun. Felt like better, well, eh. The campaign was kind of a mix, no? Some parts were good and other parts were kind of like, huh? Which, I mean, still better than... Oh shoot, which one is that? Black Ops 3? No. Oh geez, which one was that? One of the more recent ones. Was it the remastered Modern Warfare 2? No, Modern Warfare 3. Yeah. That is... I may end up getting it eventually. Because that did look fun, but I kind of want to see how that actually turns out. Because it sounds interesting. But these companies, Activision, EA, are really good at making things sound interesting. They don't always deliver it exactly how you think they're going to. So, I'm gonna wait and see. Felt like better World at War. Maybe gameplay-wise. I don't think I'd agree story-wise. The Sweat Haven? Back to what I was talking about earlier. I've never really understood sweating as an insult. Because, like, you're just saying they care too much, basically? And it just kind of always struck me as odd. And I don't think there's... Like, if it's any other thing, like someone taking a hobby seriously, or running or cooking, no wouldn't use that as an insult. You're just like, oh, you just care a lot about it. You're passionate. But then somewhere around like the original Modern Warfare 2, that became a like implied bad thing. And to an extent, I kind of get it, right? Because like, there's nothing super competitive about Call of Duty. There's no ranked mode. But the point's still to win. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird to me. Then again, I am the type to kind of just give whatever I'm doing my all, so... Not something I'm quite geared. Oh god. Insurgency. That game. I don't know, the devs... Okay, one, I'm not sure how they managed to downgrade optimization-wise. Because it ran well, and then it didn't run well, and now it kind of runs well again. But... there's also, like... The main problem I have with the devs of Insurgency is they kind of fell into, like, the whole dev trap of we have a vision of how we wanted the game to be and be played, and then they put it in the hands of players and they want to do something different, and like, well, no, that's wrong. It's like, it's not really up to, like, you made the game. That's fine. Yeah. Like, you made the game, that's fine. But if they had just left the team deathmatch mode, the game would probably be significantly more popular than it is right now. Have it like, no, we don't want that mode. We don't want it to be about that mode. It was kind of the best thing in the game, especially because they didn't figure out, like, their maps. Strange Lift didn't work for the other modes, which is weird because you thought they'd have plenty of experience with the one before that and how to get that to work, but Sandstorm was Sandstorm was interesting. God, I forgot they got bought out though. That I did forget that part. Motion Plant Destroy. Yeah. Also, I'm not to disagree with that, Adam. I personally, I don't think someone dedicating themselves to something and giving it their all is a bad thing. As long as they're not, you know, going out of the way to make things miserable for other people. Like, try-harding in a game? Whatever. It's kind of exacerbated in Call of Duty because, again, you've got, like, the casual crowd mixed in with people who aren't casual. And shenanigans of SBMM, which in theory makes sense, but I don't think they quite dialed that one in correctly. What was going on here? Oh, okay. There's no problem. The user host, yeah, got that. You don't know. Well, people play games for different reasons, and COD isn't the greatest at providing options for everyone. Like, they kind of do, because like, most of the people who are competitive about Call of Duty play Search and Destroy. It's most of what I played when I played Call of Duty. Pretty much exclusively, but that's also because the spawns kind of sucked for everything else. Yeah. Ooh, ouch. What was I talking? I was doing a... Imagine getting distracted. Covered Asuka. There's not much on 13Z. Strenova. Strenova does... Okay, when are you gonna pop up? There we go. Okay, this too. Maybe. Maybe. We'll check that first. Because I forgot about this. I didn't even know they were coming. Oh, sure, close enough. Not at all. But hey, doesn't really matter. This game. Admittedly, I know next to nothing about what they're doing in this, but I am curious. We just play Counter-Strike. I am not that old. No. Older than I'd like to be? Yes. But then who isn't? That old? No. 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 I have plenty of time left. You can't take that. Well, okay, technically you could, but no, you can't. But yeah, COD, basically, yeah, it's just Counter-Strike and COD. Different mechanics, granted, but in the end, you can trust me. I'm a police detective. Never lied before in my life. Sure. Oh. Random aside. Took a class on criminal justice in high school, which was taught by an actual, like, active police detective. He said he was gonna run movie watching for us. He wasn't wrong. Just think of spotting every stupid thing that they do in movies and going, well, okay, but that's not how that works. Why did that happen? Why did they do this? Why did they do that? Yeah, no. Yep. In approximately 6 days. Guess we'll see. That's a spread. We go from 9060 to 2080 Super. Which is equivalent to a 12GB 6700 XT. Really? Odd. Forced into forensic science. This is sure explained. Right. Leaving that alone. Anyway. Vince, yeah. I think I prefer science to math. That's mostly just because to my brain, math is just ironically incredibly inefficient because they just keep building upon stuff that people did before and it's all kind of just made up if you think about it. Like, they could literally say whatever is true and then form the equation to say that that says what it says and it would be correct. I don't know, I feel like someone just needs to optimize that. Go through and just optimize the heck out of mathematics so that it's not just building it. It's kind of like building upon an old city, right? You just keep adding to it, but then it's like it doesn't really mesh together, but you kind of make it work instead of just starting over. Not counting like historical stuff and whatnot, because yeah, that's obviously cool and whatnot, but sciences, ethology. I don't think I've dogs, please. Oh, excited, Puppo. We done? Nope. Okay. But I've never heard ethology before. I can't see if that. You need that to move. There we go. Ethology. Science of animal behavior. Yeah. Don't know why I feel the need to clarify. I mean, humans are animals. Just reality. Non-humans. But the... Internet, I'm gonna... Human... Okay, so you just had human in front. Psychological and behavioral characteristics of a species in regards to the environment over time. Yeah, super simple. This explains the, oh, jeez. Sapling and bit bytes choices. That definitely checks out. I don't know. I like learning new things. It's fun. I'd argue that's kind of the point of life. Besides, you know, living. Personally, I went the geology route, but chimpanzee versus bonobo. I think that's a millipede. I think it's a millipede. But yeah. Oh. Even look a little different. And 500,000 square kilometer. Oh. How have I never heard of those before? I guess there's no point in expanding that, is there? Because I'm kind of in the way. Anyway. Huh. That was worth clicking in. Probably fine. Exactly what it sounds like. Huh. Well, I mean, make love, not war, was a say. Don't remember who said it. Valid. You just turned into? Hi, Joker, a resident Minecraft addict. You weren't used as an example at all for anything, it's fine. It was good. Don't worry about it. Caps. My favorite! How is that a defense mechanism? That one backfired. A lot. Now it can be 3! It can be 3 people, probably. I don't know if he ever technically got diagnosed, but I mean, come on. Oh. Oh, that doesn't sound fun. News vomiting, diarrhea, and mild macrosis. Yeah, I can see how that'd be problematic. Swing through the trees, suddenly can't feel your arm. Kind of an issue. I thought you'd have like evened out your karmic total by this point. Microbial fungivores. The more you know. How much of the fault that happened? How much of the fault that? How much of the stuff that happens to you is even your fault anyway? I feel like most of the time you're just kind of existing. Sage. But yes. Good luck in therapy. Something that arguably poor people should do, but it has a very negative connotation in society because reasons. No. Did you at least manage to total the truck this time, or is it still hanging on by a thread? Since if you're talking on here, I assume you're at least moderately fine. Or I need to find a way to send you a cactus. Beefy dense. So usual. Well, at least you got out of it fine, right? Well, if it isn't the consequences of one's own actions. Well, F's in chat for that guy. Side note, anyone else find themselves randomly on YouTube watching like fail army stuff? And you just can't stop watching? I swear, you like basically live in the Wild West. Just the most random. I'm telling you. Just sign up for a reality TV show. Free money. As a VTuber, you're even more interesting now. Bridge the gap. Believe in you. And I don't really play one. Unique? Oh, that's right. That's what they call their ultimates. But yeah, this game looks really interesting. That's weird. Yeah, there's a picture of it. Yeah, like this. This whole thing. Interesting movement stuff. Yeah. There was... Okay, I don't know if you watch Kyo. He's generally a Valorant streamer, which is obviously how I found him. Post plants seem really rough. Because you can quite literally... Like in Valorant or CS, you have to jiggle peek, right? So it's a skill to cultivate. This, you just sit on a wall in 2D. I have a feeling that smoke characters are going to be very, very important. Oh. But yeah, the characters look fun. The abilities look interesting. I mean, have you considered sitting around less? Yeah. It looks really fun. Incredibly annoying to deal with, but very fun. Well then, eat less? I don't know, diet planning. You know, besides the one that I do, which is forgetting to eat and then, you know, yeah. Not recommended. Don't we all? Net less stress would be nice. I say is so many of the games that I play are at least moderately stress-inducing. I'm looking at you, League of Legends. Stress eat. I mean, there's always having like a supply of lettuce to stress eat. Just have some chilies with it. That's what my grandma's dad did. He's Thai for reference, so that's really isn't any surprise. I think he had his own bird's eye chili plant, so he literally just had that with lettuce every day. Also, if you didn't know, peppers, well, chili peppers, good for cardio health. You know, doesn't replace actual cardio for exercise, but you'll definitely clear out your sinuses. Oh god. You oh god me. Chili peppers are a gift that is sometimes used in excess, admittedly. Did you know Hormel has a chili now that is ghost pepper? Oh no, Carolina Reaper and ghost pepper. I really would love to figure out why Stream Elements is like this, but whatever, at least it's not one link now, they're their own separate thing. So, partial victory. Needing spicy ramen every morning so I can breathe. Okay, if I could have ramen that wouldn't be stupid expensive because it need to be gluten-free so I don't, maybe not perish literally, but want to perish, I would. No, don't question what. I'm so confused. Stream. Oh, that. When have I ever stopped questioning something before I figure it out? I'm pretty sure the answer to that's never. Pretty sure. Not 100%. I might have forgotten something. But I'm pretty sure. Anyway, easy crossover. Anime, shooter, VTuber. Like, I think the best thing about this game though is that it kind of simplifies, not even really simplifies, it is a tactical shooter made in a way that is more understandable to people of other genres. Because like CS is just like the most complex thing you could pretty much come up with. You can't really play CS unless you want to learn lineups, and then what gun is good where, and then where every part of each map you can use that gun specifically to have an advantage. Valorant's a more simplified version, right? Each agent has their own abilities, but you still have to do the whole thing with guns, while also learning the abilities. Stranova has abilities, but you can't choose your primary weapon. So that takes away one complication. And then if you've ever played an RPG, MMO, or a MOBA, you're used to leveling up abilities and like dealing with that sort of stuff. So that's easy. You can admittedly choose your secondary, but that's kind of whatever. You don't need to, is the point. You definitely get along well with whatever the default is. So really, all you have to do to learn how to play Stranova is learn the movement mechanics. So simplified, but not simple. With a lot of crossover. So I have a feeling it's probably going to do pretty good. That, and I mean, it's kind of got gacha elements and cute anime girls, so we know how well that does. That's kind of a given. Hi Genshin. And Star Rail and Zenless. Don't know anything about I Dream Sky Studio, but you appreciate it self-published. That is also another nice thing. I feel like so many publishers are trying to corporatize things too much these days. And then they wonder why their games don't perform as well, because they're just, you know, corporate through and through, instead of actual passion for the game they're developing. Rest in peace. What is it called? Not Last of Us. Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah. Oh. I don't know, I feel like gaming is mainstream, like I said this in the video. Gaming is mainstream enough that they see the potential in making a ton of money, but they don't understand yet that it can't just be handled like a McDonald's chain or selling 90% of products. It's at the end of the day an art, right? If you put out something that you're not passionate about and you don't really care about beyond making money, it's going to show and it's not going to do well. Half-baked, unfinished cash grab, finished 3 years later, isn't doing well? Why not? Yeah, that. It's like, wow. I fully blame EA for this, because Battlefield 3 is where it started. That was the first big game that came out in early access beta, was unfinished as hell, released unfinished, and then they managed to pull together and make what was probably the last really good Battlefield game. But instead of going, wow, we really dodged a bullet with that one, let's not do that again, they're like, can we do that, but worse? The answer is yes, they could. They definitely could. Battlefield 1 was okay, although I still question the whole backwards mechanic of machine guns getting more accurate the longer you shoot them. That is not a concept that works. Customer's always right in matters of taste. They want an ugly habit and buy that hat. I mean, yeah. This feels like a very specific example. Anything you want to get off your chest? But, yeah. Like, there's... much as people give them flack for it, I think Riot's mostly figured this out. Also, they generally seem to care way more than... No, it's not a high bar that they have to cross there, but they care more than most other publishers. So I'll give them that, even if some of the decisions they make, you kind of question. Outside of marketing control, no one can say what another person wants. Yeah. Exactly. Although, screw FOMO. Not a fan of that. Like, yeah, to an extent that's a thing. Like, things run and eventually they run out, but oh god. This is getting into the whole, like, why are pre-orders still a thing? I know they were a thing, like, 15 years ago, when gaming was way newer and fully physical in terms of getting a copy of the game. Then pre-ordering made sense, because it could run out. Now it's like, it's a digital good that you kind of don't even technically own in its entirety. Which is its own major topic that maybe I'll make a video on. But demos, So true. And I can't remember the last game that had a demo that I played. And pretty much all of them aren't mainstream. I don't know. I mean, not super surprised. Again, check out the video. But gaming is... I know people like think of it as, oh, it's been around forever. Modern style of gaming, like video gaming especially, has been around for 20-ish years at this point. That's not a super long time. It feels like it if you're living it, but for a business concept and model and figuring stuff out, I mean, a little different, but like, look how long it took him to figure out air travel. It's, hell, sailing. Humanity as a whole tends to move slowly on concepts because they get adopted slowly until someone figures out a way to do it better, and then someone else figures out the right way to do it that's even more efficient, and someone else figures a different way to do it. So yeah, 20 years, not a long time. As games like Call of Duty and League found out, kind of important to cultivate the sort of community you want from the beginning too. Also Siege. A very crucial bane of human existence. Yeah. Efficiency is good. Putting too much focus on it though kills creativity, which means less progress, which is not good. It's a very delicate balance, right? And it also, just because of how humanity tends to go ping-pongs back and forth, it's pretty much everything does. Too much one way, too much the other way, you eventually end up reaching an equilibrium. Be nice if they could do it a bit faster, but hey, is what it is. I mean, hey, to get back onto the topic of gaming, we started with what, Pong? We're here now. Just a little bit of a difference. Or even like Halo to something like this. The only real crossover in mechanics is that you jump and to fire a weapon. And I guess you can throw grenades. But that's really about it. And yeah, part of it's a technological thing, but I mean, if you ever played Halo on PC, you know that there's a lot of really screwy stuff you could do with mods. Like making the AR fire homing plasma grenades that had explosions that were way too large. Yeah. You know, about figuring things out. It's, yeah. One decimal place made a lot of difference. So interesting how games evolved, like Halo CE versus... Hey. I don't know why my brain wanted to go to Hell Let Loose 2. There's an L missing, it's a 2. It's Halo 2. I don't think I've ever seen it done HL2 though. I think it was always like... I've never seen it shortened ever, actually. I'm not super surprised I don't. Half-Life 2, that makes way more sense. Half-Life 3 when? Anyway. Skyboxes were godsend for all 3D games. Yep. It's funny the things that like you'll play a game or you'll do a thing and then someone else will do a thing and they'll add something else to it and you're like, huh. Yeah, that does make sense. That is much better. Why did we not think of that? The community is interesting like that. It's like, it's not even necessarily a fault. It's just people think in different ways. And that's, I guess, kind of the point. Everyone has different ideas on how things should be done. You just gotta actually be able to work with other people and incorporate that together into its own thing. But unfortunately, a lot of people kind of don't these days. They think it's like you take the whole valid thing to like, well, okay, it needs to just be your way. And it's like, well, yeah, how you want to do it, that's fair, but like also, especially in a team game, you gotta work as a team. Kind of a necessity. Where are you running to? Anyway. So, yeah. Compromise is, I think, a skill that is, or concept, sort of fallen to the wayside, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. Overwhelming choices. Well, part of that is that society really pushes being successful. So when people, like, if someone wants to make a game and they, oh, that's like an invisibility ability. Oh, jeez. I want it. Anyway, what was I? Right. All of the major companies, right? They just find a thing that works and then they just keep doing that one thing over and over and over and over and over and then over and then they do it again. And it's not doing well, but they still do it again because that's all they know how to do. And technically, it was successful, so it should still be successful. But this ties in the whole, like, gaming is an art thing, to be slightly more specific. That said, from a business perspective, risk is really scary. It's scary in general, but no risk, no reward. It's a saying. Not something that ironically most companies go by these days, even though that's how pretty much all of them started. It's, yeah. So then people, long story short, kind of just clump together into genres because that's the popular thing. And then hilariously someone comes out with some interesting new way of doing things and does really well, and then everyone just copies what they did, but without understanding why it was good or why people enjoyed it. I don't know. Maybe they'll figure it out eventually, but haven't yet. But yeah. Choice. Very important. But, well, also a lot of responsibility. All on the shoulders of those who innovate? Yeah. All computer architectures on one man's shoulders. Claude... I see, this is one of those situations. I'm gonna take an educated guess that that's the guy. Father of the Information Age. Well, that checks out. Why not? Oh. Damn. Okay. Massachusetts Institute. No. Hello. Merriford, Massachusetts. Hey! Massachusetts gang. I was born there, but don't live there anymore, so. East Coast. I blame that for my cold weather affiliate effect. What is the word? I like cold weather. That's the point. I blame it on the East Coast. Not technically how genetics work, but still. Did you pick enough things to master? Holy. Plus foot of feet of snow a year. Yeah. I didn't really get to grow up much on the East Coast. But transition to the other side of the country. So I'm more used to that. Oh god, California. Ugh. Also, can I just say that the price of living in California shot up a lot. Not envious of them. Not at all. No, not even a little bit. Let's move to Alaska. Hey, it's cheap. I mean, yeah, you're always at risk of a grizzly, if not polar bear, meandering in, depending on where you are. But hey, I mean, yeah. Okay. Correction. Homes, depending on where you get them in Alaska, can be really cheap, relatively. Food, however, that's the same reason living in Hawaii is expensive, except Hawaii also has less space, so housing in Hawaii is also expensive as well as food being expensive. Alaska, mostly food, depending on where you live, could be housing, but like if you want to get a mansion sized home in Alaska versus say Beverly Hills, it's going to be cheaper. Then you just need to worry about getting, you know, running water, electricity, connection to the internet, being close enough to somewhere to get food. Where everything shipped is maybe a thing? I don't know. Interesting, but not really my cup of tea. It was nice to visit, although I don't know if I liked visiting it on a cruise. I'm not huge in confined spaces, so on the mountain near Anchorage was like 50 cents an acre. Probably, yeah. Yeah, basically that. Didn't quite articulate that as well as I wanted to. 0.5. I was gonna say. Yeah. What I was trying to say is sort of that I just thought it and then didn't say it. Because go me. But yeah. Farther out Middle of nowhere-ish. Maybe a small town? I forget. We did a tour. I forget where exactly that was, but yeah. I'd argue that depending on where you live, you kind of just trade what the expensive thing is. Something's gonna be cheap, something's gonna be expensive. Still cheaper in some places than other, but usually like, I mean, down south or like the Midwest versus, I don't know, San Francisco. Very different vibe. Just kind of depends on what you want out of life, I guess. Personally, I like a mix of more natural, but also with access to, what is the word? I guess amenities works. Convenient amenities, maybe? So, you know, it's like supermarkets and stuff. Ted Stevens International Airport is like the 5th largest in the world. Passover and lower 48. Not familiar with that term. The lower 48, I get, yeah, that's the lower 48 states, but Passover? Never heard that term in that context. But yeah, so this is kind of like a, oh jeez, who actually created electricity versus other people getting, like, because everyone thinks like Steve Jobs. First land refuel go on. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Huh. Okay. Hi, Darwin. How's it going, buddy? That theory is kind of fallen apart with modern society. Oh, yeah, I mean, the amount of degrees. Where is that? The fields, mathematics, computer science, electronic. What the hell is that? Okay. For some reason, saw the gateway skirt. Probably because of that. A skirt. I was very confused. I was like, okay, really? Really? But no, electronic engineering, artificial intelligence. That's a topic on everyone's minds these days. Not that you wouldn't know who they are, because if you're watching me, I'd imagine you've probably heard of Narusama. It'd be kind of weird if you hadn't, and you're into VTubers. Then again, not really with the War Thunder crowd, are they? Markedly, I'm not. Just play the game at the moment. Yeah. Come a long way too. Even just in the last year. Not something I could, I mean, I can barely type, so. Definitely not coding in AI. Heck no. Ugh. But yeah, the whole... Oh, are they streaming more together? I know I'd seen a couple of clips, but... I tend to not watch a lot of... well, streams in general, but just like content, unless it's like I'm eating or something. Just, I prefer doing things. The same reason I don't watch sports other than the NHL, because I don't watch that because little too invested. I don't really like not being able to influence stuff, I guess. So I like helping, not being able to kind of just brain doesn't like it. So the same reason is like I don't really like driving, but as long as it's not like a super long trip thing. Oh no, I still wouldn't like driving. I'm gonna just like zone out in the passenger seat. Yeah, I don't know. Driving is one of those things that's like points out the interesting aspects of. Hold on. But yeah, where was I? Kind of highlights interesting aspect of human psychology. It just becomes like a normal thing that people don't think about. But if you ask them what they're more afraid of, whether like, I don't know, as a really inflammatory topic, guns versus driving, pretty much everyone's gonna say guns, even though driving is literally you're in charge of a multi-ton vehicle. I'd argue they're as dangerous. Or like, schools won't let you take pocket knives or whatever, but you can have scissors, which is arguably more dangerous. It's a much longer blade. Also, technically better for that any sort of nefarious activity, if that's what they're afraid of. Heck, even pencils. Vice versa. Monsters. Accurate. Especially because so many people zone out when driving. Hilariously enough, I think people pay more attention in games like GTA when they're driving than they do actual physical vehicles, which is terrifying. Granted, they're paying more attention in GTA because they're trying to run people over, but that's not the point. I mean, it was kind of the point, but no. What else are they gonna look at? And Trimmy Fashion got completely off topic. But hey, ninjas are fun. Start and see where you end up. Oh, that's right. Oh god, Titanfall 2. So sad. Oh. Is this on Steam? This game. That was a vibe. Second one wasn't as good. Kind of waiting for someone to make the spiritual successor to this, but good luck ever getting access to that IP, so they'd have to literally do everything on their own from scratch. Use what it is. Found yourself. Bring yourself. Yeah, I'm talking about games that seem... So, granted, this is more linear, right? But open world version to be kind of interesting. That'd be fun. But Very, very fast paced. Which... yes, I keep coming back to this. That's apparently garbage, unfortunately. Just kind of had high hopes for the next Dragon Age game. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Yeah, you want to talk about a game that doesn't have a lot of downtime? But it does let me do a lot of dueling, which is admittedly like my favorite part of League, probably. Or Valorant, actually. Testing against other people and then overcoming. It's fun. Challenges are fun. And also that all combined with something that you can improve at. A lot of goal potential. A lot of goal potential. It's nice. That and Sparking Zero in particular is actually just a really well-made game. They kind of thought of pretty much everything. Like, I know a lot of people have issues with, well, as they're referred to, I didn't coin the term, but hey, here we go. Backshots. Because it's just you constantly... Because you take more damage from behind, right? Which is pretty normal concept in gaming. But also, they can't just block. But there is... like there's a super counter, so they can't normally block, but they could super counter. You can technically super counter basically anything in the game. But you have to time it right, so it's a skill issue if you can't land it. So a lot of it's just a knowledge and skill check, which I really, really like. Ever been a DBZ fan? I mean, technically it's just Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z was apparently, as I found out later, just one part of the series. Not even the first part. I think it was the second one. I never saw the rest. I don't even know if I finished Dragon Ball Z. That said, Dragon Ball Z Abridged by Team 4-Star. Hilarious. Oh, that was super fun. That thing of the series? I mean... I mean... kind of. To an extent. Like, okay, because Sparking Zero doesn't have a campaign in and of itself. It has what it calls episodes. Which... kind of runs through the story of a majority of the major characters. But also while letting you fight out what would have been the fight scenes. So I would say it's not the worst way to learn. I'd say Goku, yeah, okay. Me being generic, whatever. I think Goku's probably my favorite character. Mostly because of the whole fighting, never giving up thing. Always wanting to get stronger so that you don't lose. But not that losing is necessarily a bad thing, because you can learn from it. Just, you know, come through when it... Is it actually? Yeah. This is, I think... like, okay, that was something I was like, it's definitely worth it. If you like... if... asterisks. If you like fighting type style games, because in the end that's what it is. That said, it works way better for my brain because it's not 2D side-scroller thing. I mean... you look at it, it's 3D. Okay, no. Paradox level is like $200 because you have the game, which is like 50 or 40, and then you have the first DLC for 30, the second DLC for 30, the third DLC for 30, and then like the fourth one for like $20. So arguably, it's cheaper than a Paradox game. But yeah. I think this, if you like fighting games, is... I mean, technically it's a continuation of Budokai Tenkaichi, I think, which is a game that I'd never heard of, but there was apparently 3 of. All Dragon Ball. Yeah. But kind of like how, maybe less so, but like Deadlock's doing its thing where it's mixing FPS and MOBAs. They're not the first one to do it, granted, but seem to be the first ones to do it decently, and definitely the first big company to do it. RimWorld will be that way too. I'm really sad that I can't get more into RimWorld, but we're again getting into the whole too much freedom of choice thing. Not enough defined goal. If it presented a bunch of little goals to like complete along the way, I'd probably do better with it. But escape the planet. Oh, I see. Budokai Tenkaichi series. Yeah, there you go. Escape the planet's a little too far in the future for me. Yeah. It's a fun game, definitely a lot of... I was still kind of holding out for someone making a Xenomorphs mod where you are the Xenomorphs, but that hasn't really happened yet. Mods definitely add to it. That's 100% true. There's certainly plenty of those to choose from. Oh god. Why is there a monster? Of course there's a Monster Girl mod. There's a Monster Girl mod, but there's not like a up-to-date Xenomorph mod. Whatever. Shout out to Aliens 2010. Oh, Alien vs Predator 2010. That was a fun game. Also, hey Synapsin, yeah. It's more of like, I know it'll get worse if I try, so doing light work today. I blame video editing. I blame video editing. Someone who knows that game. Yeah. Xenomorph was definitely my favorite to play. I don't know. I don't know if I really liked the Predator controls in that game, or Yucha, or whatever you want to call them. Marine was just straight. Hi, I would like to be brutally murdered on repeat, thank you. They're technically stronger than that, but they needed to be working together, which there wasn't enough people playing the game, really, to do that. Yeah. OG. Impressed a person. Wrong Xenos, synthetic. Wrong, I mean, technically yes, but wrong Xenos. Also, I didn't play VP 1 or 2, unfortunately. And then by that point, the graphics were so... My brain doesn't love things that aren't at least moderately true to life. Shout out to Helldivers with the ridiculous amount of animations they put into that game for movement. Not even just ragdolling, just movement. I mean, there's a reload animation for all of the support weapons that is different for standing up, crouching, or laying prone, or having someone else reload for you while you're doing all of those things. Oh, so good. can't stream it because it's PC, but which sucks because it is so easy content wise, right? It'd be so easy. Just complete a couple of missions, put it into a video. Away you go. It's a new story and experience every single time. And then you can add more people if you want to as well. You could do so many different challenges. Different weapons, different support weapons, different stratagems. Alas. Alas. Another game that I really wish that I could stream is Space Marine 2. Because I know a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't like the multiplayer for that game. I think it's goated. It could definitely use some tweaks. Looking at you, lightning grenade or whatever, the shock grenade is ridiculously broken. It is an AoE over time slowing and damaging effect. All at once. Oh, and it blinds you. Right, forgot about that. It also blinds you. Now imagine you could turn invisible, use an SMG, and just sneak up behind someone and then mag dump them like that. Oh wait, you can. And yet it's somehow not incredibly broken, and you could just still get ratioed by people. Ugh. So fun. Classic Warhammer 4-player... Classic Warhammer 4-player game. I read that as Warhammer 4, not Warhammer, and then like 4-player game. Yeah. The first Warhammer game that I've played, though, come to think of it. And there's no way that I'm going to be... Okay, first off, as interesting as it is to watch other people play the tabletop version, you know, my brain would wander very rapidly. Also, it's incredibly expensive. Which I'm sure comes as no surprise to anybody. Yet here I am stuck reading fan fiction instead of buying new books because it would be way too expensive. With how quickly I read them. Yeah. It's a struggle. Dawn of War, 40k, Dark Crusade, and Soulstorm. I've heard of Dawn of War recently. Look, I used to be a console adeptus. Yes. Well, I was gonna say Kill It With Fire, the faction. More of Kill It With Fire through religious zealotism, the faction, because salamanders kind of have Kill It With Fire cornered. I know that much. Thanks, Bricky. Yeah, I know some of the factions. I know barely anything, but I know some. Arguably more than I know Dragon Ball, actually, come to think of it. Interesting. Oh, fire missile launchers, space structures. Forgot about that. Yeah. Literally. But let's be honest. Warhammer at least knows what it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously in the way that a lot of genres take themselves way too seriously and then still try and pull over the top stuff without acknowledging how over the top it is. And then you have Titans in Warhammer. You're just like, that's ridiculous. And it's like, yup, It is. Anyway. There's nothing else you have to give them that. They just own it. Which is, yeah. It's like, yep, there's technically no good guys. There is no good guy. Would this be a good time to mention that I'm a Tyranid Indrier? Not that that should be a surprise after the Xenomorph comment, but yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean you're the whole nomming the entire universe thing. That's kind of a downer, right? It's minor downside, but the Brits creating a hell universe under the eternal rule of God Emperor who doesn't even want to be a God Emperor. Oh, irony. So real. So incredibly real. Tyranid school. Good. You can stay. I mean, you could have said it anyway, but you know. Yeah. The fact that 40k is kind of a good analog for modern society is sort of terrifying, to be honest. Just a little bit. Same mysterious manifestation of beliefs and things that happen. Admittedly, I don't know a whole lot about the orcs. Other than that they spawn from mushrooms. Spores, but whatever. I don't know. Never really captured my attention enough to look into. And I think they're just slightly too goofy for me, personally. But I'm also the person who can't watch the cringe scenes in movies without cringing myself, so, you know. This is not a surprise. This is very much telegraphed. More equals more warp energy equals smarter and weirder. Perks? Huh. And then there's the idiot that thought to pit them against the Tyranids. Yep. Okay. Man, that decision does not age well. Old ones for... Yeah. Them and the Eldar. Are Aldiri? What are they called these days? Why do I have to type that entire thing out to get that? You know, I forgot they made Plague's Tale. Plague Tale? Whatever it is. Wait, what? Oh. Okay, that's that one. That one was okay. I don't really play either of these. But then again, I don't want to play as the humans, so yeah. What's this? Really? You just... Please let me see. Well, that didn't clear anything up. Interesting. They haven't started to see a sandstorm? Huh. Okay. Okay, well this I gotta check out. What is this? The leader of a company specialized in restoring sites devastated by natural disasters. Huh. So, like, the same vibe as Power Washing Simulator, except an entire city? Sort of? Similar idea. Why does that look super system intensive? Yep. Of course. Alright, what is this? Roadcraft? Ma ma ma. Over to here. I keep finding new games. This is a problem. Because I do not have the money to purchase these games. Nor necessarily are they all ones that I'd really want to play all that much long term. Everything looks cool at first glance, right? $27. Those are rookie numbers. We're gonna have to get that up, Synthetic. Granted, I kind of like put them on there to just keep track of them, otherwise I forget. So I have 44 at the moment. There we go. Alaska, Path of Exile 2, V-Bridger, which I would have, but my PC would die. Life is Strange Double Exposure, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. It's only been delayed like 3 years, whatever. Deadlock, 13Z, which is... I'm... There's certainly no particular reason why this game was caught my attention. Definitely not. Certainly nothing Fox related. Also, though, it's a is it a roguelike or a roguelite? Roguelike. Yeah. Which, I mean, going back to the whole, there's co-op. Oh. And the fur color changes based on what element you go. Okay. You have niche have niche interests? Yeah. Entirely valid. I just happen to have more mainstream ones. Kind of. Like mainstream niche. I did play The Sims. Okay, that was a thing. But nope. Not really anymore. Where was that? What was I? Rooftops and alleys. That's what I'm hoping is gonna get more content. It's a nah, okay, well, whatever. It's a parkour game. Problem I have is that there's no real goals, and I don't really have anyone I know that would be interested in playing this sort of game, which is the other thing, is seems like a really good game to play with friends, sort of thing. Why can you customize your whatever? Fair enough. Yeah, like custom. Why is that a? Okay. But yeah, like challenge each other to pull cool stuff off or races. It'd be really good for that. Not so much solo, which is how I tend to play most games these days. I don't know. Maybe more to do in the future. But that Broken Arrow, Kinstrife. Kinstrife looks interesting. On the topic of different games, it's kind of like, why'd I pause that? Whatever. Kinstrife is very much feeling like a more open world. Oh, jeez. The anorexia, anyone? Open world adventure-ish. So, kind of like Mountain Blade, but more realistic graphics, I guess. And slightly more realistic combat system. Which, I mean, obviously appeals to me as a War Thunder enjoyer. You know, there's a limit to how much I can play that game in one go. I think that's part of the reason I've enjoyed games like League or Valorant, is that it's different each time. That, and especially with like League is a team game, right? But unlike War Thunder or even Valorant, it's less team reliant. It's still team reliant, right? If your entire team ints, you're kind of screwed. But you can have more individual control over the outcome than... I don't know about Dota. Never played Dota. But yeah, like that sort of thing. But like, yeah, you actually stab them in the face, and they're not okay with it. That's nice. Death by 1,000 Cut Marshmallow combat isn't really my jam, I say, having played a bunch of Sparking Zero, hence my wrist being slightly upset. But yeah. I think the damage system is probably my favorite thing about War Thunder, and kind of the main reason I still play the game, as opposed to MechWarrior Online, where I really don't like the damage system. Now, if those two could combine, that would be great. Love that. Until that happens, though. Yeah. But yeah, medieval combat's always a vibe. Kind of a shame there's not really enough. I need a game like this, but where you play as like stereotypical ninja. That would be really fun. I do tend more towards like fantasy-esque or mythological type stuff. I know, I find normal boring. Like, normal is normal, right? Everyone else is doing it. I don't necessarily want to. We've already got that covered. So, yes, I do end up playing mages in Baldur's Gate 3 most of the time. Every time. Of some variety. But I don't know. I like freedom of choice, but I like to be able to set somewhat more short-term goals and then actually get a reward out of it. Pretty sure that's an ADHD thing, but Battle Mage, yes. I think that's been my main struggle with League, is the item changes and then figuring out what I actually want to build now. I figured out that I suck at melee champions. Mostly. Although Mbessa Medarda does kind of seem interesting. I don't think I have any easy way to show a video of that. Unfortunately. But yeah. Battle Mage is like, okay, my problem is, you might have noticed, moderately aggressive when it comes to combat, arguably over aggressive. So I kind of need the like, oh shoot, I've gone a little too far, get out of situation button. Would it surprise you to learn I pretty much exclusively play Jet and Valorant? Probably not. But also white hair. Why, like, so many of the characters like have white hair? I don't know. Whatever. Point being, like, it wasn't. Oh god. That was a while ago. I mean, if it's any consolation, I feel much younger now. Thank you. You know, I only started playing League like 2-ish years ago, and then proceeded to utterly tank my MMR. But that's an entirely different story. Oh. Or we could clarify it, and I feel more on the old side again. Okay. Got it. That's fine. Okay. I mean, I'm Fox. We have advantages. Technically could live forever. You never know. Anyway. Where they got early. Okay. Still, that was forever ago. It's kind on the subject of games, and oh god, I love, okay. I just say, like, where is it? Physics based, like this, that entire, I love that. Don't know why, but my brain really likes that. Like, the whole arrow sticking out thing actually have an impact was kind of like one of the main reasons I wanted to play, what was it called? Not Medieval 2. Total War Shogun 2. And, I don't know why. But yeah. Also, I am a huge archery nerd, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, that in and of itself makes me interested in this game, which coming soon. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I have it. Yeah, it's okay. Oh yeah, that linear open world. What do you mean by that, huh? What do you mean by that, devs? Unique historical locations. Would you like to clarify? Alright, and before I become a total dork who just runs around with the daggers, because I can see the blood animation and whatnot. That could use a little bit of work, but hey, it's not even early access yet, so they have time. Who the heck is Tom? I'm very confused. I feel like I'm missing a reference. Which isn't surprising, but it still needs to be said. Writing history. Not historical battles, writing history. Strategic finesse. Well, yeah, gotta hit that strategic finesse. Nah, do it alone. Do it alone. Always. Solo regime only. Yeah, I don't know. I've never liked managing people in this sort of game. I like controlling one person. Basically, like I've said multiple times, the more true to life it is, the better I do. Yeah. Don't read into the joke. Well, that's just not fair. You just dangle that in front of me, then just, nope. No explanation. Refuses to elaborate. Okay. Alright. This is the unit general type control. Yeah, even that, it's like, I tend to not actually pick up an army because you can become a massive cheesy powerhouse in your own right in that game. But yeah. Like if it were a group of actual players and working with them, I could do that. But having to micromanage AI that are so utterly brainless, they barely even listen to what you say. No thanks. I'm good. Yeah, no. Not my thing. Yeah, there's that. Broken Arrow. Oh my god. That's just Kung Fu. Probably remove that. Black Myth Wukong. I don't know if I actually want that game. Meh. But on the topic of, I almost said Hellish Court, of medieval style games, kind of. It's sword fighting. That aren't free open world, but are just fighting. We have Hellish Court, which is kind of a, I mean, it's technically, I'm pretty sure it's not just back and forth like 2D, but it does always view it from the side. But what it does, well, yep, there you go. Very realistic damage models. On a hill, the backside of a hill, basically, yeah. Enemy comes up, charge. Yeah, the high ground. Classic. Yeah. Oof. If, you know, you lost in a classic fighting game every time you took a single hit. That's this game. And it apparently has a first-person point of view? Oh. Oh. I like how they had to add local in full caps. Oh, which is probably the only reason this game isn't massive. I like it better, yeah. I don't know, like... Shoot, what's it called? Ooh, this one. But, what is it? Okay, now I have to go to my Steam library, I think. No. Chivalry? Chivalry. Like, Chivalry 2? Fun game! I don't know, I feel like first-person combat isn't something that translates super well when controlling it with like a mouse and keyboard or a controller when you're dealing with swords. Because guns and whatnot are very much point and shoot, right? But like there's more manipulation that you need to do with a sword. Different stances, you've got different angles. That really matters where you're holding the blade and whatnot. Like in front of you, not like actually holding the blade. Drag to slash. Yeah, but that only would really work in VR, which isn't, I think, far enough along for the sort of scale they'd want to do. Oh, based. Stutter Fox Studio. Let's go. Love the name. Obviously. But yeah, that's probably... Oh, geez. What is that one... A VR game... Sword and Sorcerer, I think? Network latency indeed. Yeah. Someday. Someday we'll hit Ready Player One levels. And then I will dominate. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like a lot of time I get limited by control inputs. Is what it is. If everyone could just have what they thought or thinking in their head occur in the game, then everyone would be much better at games than they are. Just a general thing. But yeah, this game. Yeah. Definitely interesting. I don't know, I'm weird. I tend to like having a more goal-oriented style type game, but then also with... Basically, I'm very particular and needy. Finicky. Not finicky. Finicky. No, that's not quite. But you get the idea. Look, I needed to fit a Fox joke in there somewhere. Okay, it's literally required. It's in the contract. You can't see it, of course, because it's a super secret contract that... I mean, it would be null and void if I showed it to anyone, so... Yep. Just gonna have to take my word for it. That said, what else have you done? And nothing. Carry on. What do you mean by that? Universe is vast, procedurally generated, and you can build spaceports, refineries, supply depots, and recon stations to help extend your influence and keep your enemy at bay. So basically, I need to find a way to upgrade my PC. Got it. Well, it looks like I'd be able to play it, but let's be honest, I don't want to just play it. Well, Warhammer. Yeah, it's only been around since the 1980s, I think, maybe sooner. Oh. Can I see wiki in there? Oh, why am I so just keyboard challenged? I swear. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for like an actual wiki. Okay, fine. Do that way. That's not what I wanted. It's fine if I'm not using it a ton, which is why we're not doing gaming today. And I didn't really like playing War Thunder or League, but mostly because I'd have to not stream like another day if I did play anything, so might as well get it over with now and just do a yapping thing. That would have been smart. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been an idea. I took ibuprofen. Right? And get partial credit, hopefully. Yeah, it's weird. More so lately. No, not starter. Start. Year. 1987. Okay, first rulebook. Okay, so there you go. But yeah, it's only now becoming popular. Which is partially Games Workshop's fault, admittedly. The whole like war on, I don't call it content creation thing they did, but the thing that every company's tried where they're like, well, actually, we own all of this, so basically Super Nintendo. Yeah. Well, Nintendo, but you know what I mean. Marianne, Pano. This game. You are not alone. I see. Rivals from the old colony wars between Earth, Titan, and Venus. Well, Earth, Titan, Venus, and other lineages that divide humanity have also arrived in the same star system. Oh boy. Classic. I really want to know what's going on there. This is a really cool idea for a warp system, too. But yeah. That's the thing. Canvas of Kings, because I thought about making maps at some point. Throne and Liberty. I don't know about that. This, however. This was a fun story game. Ooh. Nostalgia. Also a really interesting mechanic with the whole black and white until you liberate an area and then it becomes color. Except for the explosions. Okay. Based on not a story that I know. Yeah. Cursed. I agree. Thank you. Synapsid's too nice. He would have just agreed with you, Panda. No. That is cursed. One might even say cringe. That's the story you need. I don't think I need any story involving me being the Pog champ. I don't even know what that means. I kind of do, but like, oh God. Look, I don't even have TikTok installed. I've never had TikTok installed. I Y'all gonna make me just throw down League so I can ignore you and have an excuse. I swear. The end of that was 2 streams ago, my guy. And also, you earned it. So cry about it. Okay, I can't disprove it, technically. I know you earned it. Definitely deserve it, but I can't remember what, because that was like a week ago now. Not quite a week, obviously, but that's a week. Shush alarm. Slightly longer today. And he wonders why he got timed out. Hmm. Don't you know you're not supposed to agree, Panda? Granted, there's no way to win that. But even if it is true. Anyway. Very fun game. What is this is the Streamer Court of Law, run by Streamer of Stream, where technically all rules are arbitrary and said by me. Taught to tell the. See, it's the little smiley face. It's the little smiley face that is just basically shouting cap, or not even cap, like mischievous intentions. I would know. Is Fox. That's like 3/4 of my thing. Mischief. Dune Awakening. Kind of interesting. What is this one? Ooh. Fragile. Isn't it the same people? Let's just go back here. Yeah. And then Shell Runner. What was the other one? It's all in here. Imagine trying to gaslight a fox. I feel it's kind of like bringing a knife to a tank fight or something. It was rigged from the start, my friend. You had no chance. Which one is this again? It's more of a planetary annihilation vibe. I definitely like the. Why do I have this saved? It was kind of cool. I don't know if I'm sold on that anymore. I've seen your aim will be okay. Yeah. War Thunder doesn't count. Very different. Also, unlike a tank, you can't really deal with a Sabo round in the same way, whereas it technically like bounces off. Humans aren't built that way. Last I checked, you do need all of your limbs intact. Preferably, right? Personally, that was my preferred method of existence. Right, so I'm down to 40 games on this though. Where is this game though? Sword with Thumbs. That's how niche this is, huh? So yeah, if you're ever looking for like a random game, super simple to kill time, this is good for it. It's technically like not fully finished, but it is fun. It's also $3. So, you know, are optional these days. Says who? But yeah. I think they technically made a sequel, but that didn't go super well, I don't think. Perfect. It is so random. What? Nani? Oh. Oh god. On the topic of games that I could never get into, Overwatch. I don't see the random here. That doesn't even make sense though. Just because they can't move their limbs doesn't mean that they're the authority and having them or not being optional. I'm gonna have to try again. One's human. I've debated this. Yeah, like I know Overwatch is technically a good game. I'm not a fan of Marshmallow Simulator. I say someone who played Halo, but then I usually played Swant for multiplayer. Yeah. Spraying someone with an entire magazine, and you had better say magazine, or I will not be held accountable for what I do, is not exactly my preference. Yeah. That's what it is. Looking forward to more content. Yeah, maybe I'll give it a try someday. No idea. I don't know. I'm still holding up for Riot's MMO. Even being a thing that comes out at this point. Dark Acres 2's alright. It's very okay. Goated, obviously. Yellow Transit Fisha. What the? Oh, it's a 2D side scroller. I dislike. I can never. I don't vibe with 2D games. I just don't. You. You want to talk about so much potential? For Honor had a ton of potential. And then they killed it. Oh wow, what's this War Thunder game? Never seen this before. Yeah, I thought it was competitive for a sec. I was about to say, what the hell do you mean? Yeah. That was Respawn, right? I think it was Respawn Entertainment under EA. Unfortunately, it did not. I don't even remember why that game didn't work out. Dice? Was it Dice? Let's find out. Oh no, it was BioWare. So no one was correct. Move at incredible speed, rocket across the skies to safely roam watery depths. Is that ever possible, really? As you play, you will constantly progress through both your own abilities as Javelin. And that's all we're getting into. Yeah. It actually can't. I thought it never released. Oh. Well, there's a video if you want to go check that out. Or could have been so good. Okay. Yeah? Huh? Huh? Yeah? Oh, but the dev team didn't actually know what they were developing. Yeah, that would complicate things. So not to confuse the, all-knowing snail. I'm pretty sure it's still not the 23rd of October for the majority of the world. Nice. Appreciate it. I mean, by all means, leave a comment. Just to be, content creation minded. It does help out for whatever reason. The YouTube algorithm really it likes interaction, right? So it makes sense. They want to prioritize stuff that people are interacting with because they want them to stay on their platform. It's at least better than Twitch. Who doesn't have any way to search anything even, or to find new stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's still the 22nd for me. But again, I'm also on the West Coast, so yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The fact that Twitch exists at all is kind of a miracle, to be honest, considering they make negative money. But at the same time, there's no one else who's doing it. Kick does not count. No. Helps on the base. Yeah, because it's prohibitively expensive to get into. Twitch exists because it's subsidized by Amazon. I mean, they're doing more stuff recently, I think, with like getting sponsorships of sort. With like September paid for by partially. I know Riot did some of that, and then Discord was doing a thing. So there's that, which is smart. I'd prefer if Twitch didn't die, personally, obviously. YouTube streaming still kind of sucks, in a lot of ways. It's better. They got a little bit to go. But yeah, competition generally is good because it forces innovation, which is good, obviously, because it's innovation. That's why monopolies are bad. You guess? Only you guess. Wow. I see how it is. Not even sure. Just non-committal, I guess. Depression. A lot of... Yeah. You're not wrong. The thing to remember with a lot of this stuff, people tend to view business as just the business. But they're run by people. And people have a variety of different tastes, views, and beliefs on how things should be done. Yeah. Now, the whole internet, like, child-friendly thing is always going to be kind of a tricky thing to pull off, because in the end, without forcing people to, like... I know that the East does this a lot. Forcing you to provide your actual, like, identification. They can't verify your age, so you just put a thing which is like, hey, this is only really for 17, 18 up, whatever. By clicking this, you say that you are that, so that they don't get into legal trouble. Because otherwise they can't actually verify without getting really invasive privacy-wise. But yeah. That is, yeah. I don't know, like, it's not good, don't get me wrong. But like I said, they're also in this really awkward position where they, better or worse, those people bring in attention, so they get people on the site. So from a business perspective, they need money, and they bring money. But from a, like, ethics and even technically the rules, well, literally the rules perspective, they're breaking them? But yeah. No, they can't. They don't have the money to set up a different site. But really, Twitch's main problem, I think, is that they need to just enforce stuff more, or at least equally. But yeah, when it gets into the whole like reality versus expectation thing, is Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yet is kind of the core of the problem. Oh. Well, that's a them problem to figure out, not me. Thankfully. No, thank you. I'm good. I'll stick to channel rules. Much easier to enforce. But yeah, not a huge fan of hypocritical stuff, but I kind of see how they get to where they are. I don't like it, but I get it. Understanding is always a good thing to have, even if it doesn't change your view on what it is or how you view something. Useful to know how they got there. Stretch. What was that? Oh. Hi, Fuso. There's a game I haven't played in forever. World of Warships. That's probably not changing. I'm patchy, my beloved. Not the D variant, though. It's the Apache A, because it has no... What? Oh god, what is that system called? Should you draw again today? I think you should draw again if you want to draw again. I know I kind of have to like bounce between things that I'm interested in, so it goes a okay, didn't need to see that. Things that I'm interested in, otherwise I just kind of zone out. And then I don't really accomplish anything, and it's just frustrating. But, huh. I didn't know that was an acronym. Okay. So unless, you're feeling burnt out, then yeah, I'd say why not? Only way to build a skill is by doing it, after all. Yeah, I'm just looking for the targeting system. Please. Please. I just need to know the name. Just tell me the name. There's so many words. Well, almost had it. Thanks, brain. No, 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 no. Unironically, this would be much easier to figure out if I was in War Thunder. Where are you? The hell is a Star Streak? Blah, blah, blah. Longbow system. The longbow. That's right. Okay. We got there. The little ball on top, which none of these have naturally. Oh, there it is. That. And that. So yeah. Ooh. Ah, that plane. Yes, well, maybe if they do that, they'll consider moving the 0 down in battle rating as well. They won't. But maybe. I swear, I have killed more soft ground targets with my 0 than anything else in the game. Kind of silly. Which, I mean, there's a clip on the channel. I want to bully more things. Well, I want to abuse people who don't yet understand you shouldn't turn fight to 0. So, I mean... fair enough. Hi, Vegan. What's up, Vegan? There, yeah. I love my 0. It's just, yeah. It's very light, very maneuverable, but slow. But on that note, oh, their food's ready. I gotta feed the doggos. No. How to do those? It's hard to take an initiative into 0. Yeah, that's true. Like, you can't chase anything down. You kind of have to hope that they're dumb enough to turn with you or get the drop on them. Which is difficult to do, and you can't climb to altitude faster than they can. It's actually probably why I don't like realistic battles that much. This checks out. Oh god. What does... Oh. Holy nerfs, Batman. For reference, I'm looking at that. Oh god, what are they doing to Bork now? Yeah, League. Right, dropped the new patch notes for 14.21. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3. So 18. Nerfed, well, 12 are getting buffed. Wow. Okay, that's comprehensive. I'll read that later. But yeah, that is going to be it from me. Yeah, you'll probably see that more lately. Though it's not my food, it's the dog's food. I wish it was my food. No, I'd still have to make that. Lucky doggos, they get to sit there and be floofy, adorable, and then... Well, okay. Needy. Very needy. You hear. So, that's it for me today. I will be back on Thursday, probably closer to 3 o'clock, I'm thinking. I need to figure out a thing that I can do or put on while feeding the dogs so that it's not just a 2-hour stream. But yeah, I mean, feel free to toss up ideas if you have anything. Yeah, but I'll figure it out. Yeah. Problem solving. I'm good at it. Usually. But, per usual, thanks for the follows, chatting, and of course, retort some dog b-roll. That is not the worst idea. Maybe. You have to be careful of that though, because collars and name tags exist, so we'll see. I do have the video of me cleaning up my PC, if you ever want to see what a 5 years accumulation of dust from a graphics card looks like. That's the thing. I need to do something with that at some point. Anyway, moving on. Thanks for chatting. And of course, the lurkers. I appreciate all of you. Yeah. I mean, heck, I spend most of my time lurking. I feel like I'm too far over to the left. No, I'm good. Okay, we're good. Links down below to both YouTube channels. There's the main channel, which has a new video out on FF culture and gaming, because as someone who plays a lot of competitive games, kind of really familiar with it. There's also the VOD channel. This will be there. It's barely time. It is barely past time. You will survive. He's so dramatic. Adorable. But very loud dramatic. We love him. And of course the schedule for stream down below. So, I believe that's everything. I'll see you Thursday. Until then, stay awesome. And I'll catch you guys later. See ya.